Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Moti, are you here?
I'm here. Hi, Tom. What's up?
Hello. Pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting.
Yes. So, before we start, a short intro. I'm Tom, a brand, working on Starknet at Starkwa for the past 2 years. Since its inception, today is a very special day. First of all, because we have Moti here, but also because we have a new version 0.12, which was deployed yesterday on Starknet testnets. And today, I think probably now or in a few minutes, the governance vote on accepting it to mainnet will start. And it's a very exciting version to me, and I think to everyone who has been in this ride for the past 2 years. Um, I don't know, Moti, do you want to say a few words about it before we start?
Yes, of course. I think it's a long-awaited version. We at Braavos, before choosing to work on Starknet, we did our research and we understood that the Starknet and the Stark technology is superior rollup technology, and I think that today is maybe the first step that will reveal that also for the outside world, right? Deployment on testnet today and on mainnet next week will definitely be something which is a remarkable achievement, I think, not only for Starknet, but for the Ethereum ecosystem at large. And we've been long anticipating that.
Yes, I fully agree. And I want to say like a huge word of appreciation um, to all the builders, who's joined Starknet and the Starknet community. I see Mentor here and North Star. Apology if I miss anyone else, but to me, those are like I don't. I hope I don't use grand words, but uh, you know people of vision because they had the ability to I don't know see something big even before its inception, and build through times where things were not a
Not perfect.
not perfect. So I have huge appreciation for being able to see it and being able to be positive and constructive and just believing in the vision, and hopefully we will see the fruit soon. So thank you, everyone. And now let's let's start discussing what we came to discuss. So, Moti, you have some things to share with us.
Yeah, so maybe just a quick recap for people who are listening and are not familiar. Like that's the first encounter with Starknet. Braavos is a smart contract wallet fully dedicated to Starknet, taking full advantage of account abstraction. I think that in the past 6 months, we've made our focus mainly on security issues with the introduction of the account abstraction security pyramid, with the seed signer, the hardware signer, and the multi-signer features that allow you to use the security chip that you have on your mobile device in order to generate keys and authenticate transaction using your biometric ID, which we believe it's a major step forward in crypto and in crypto UX in general. And in the past few months, we wanted to add to that a bit of, I would say, DeFi flavor. And for us, the most basic thing is when we talk about DeFi, is ETH staking, and we really wanted to enable ETH staking on Starknet with Starknet very low gas fees, and that's what we did. So We have soft launch ETH staking 2 weeks ago, and starting this very minute, it's currently open for everyone to try it out and stake their ETH on Starknet.
Amazing. So just to make sure I understand, you allow the users of Starknet to stake their ETH while staying on Starknet, and then this Ether is being actually staked on Ethereum.
Exactly. So we actually deployed two products. It's staking and staking boost. But let's start with staking. Staking uses something which is called DeFi pooling. And the concept here is to pool many users on Starknet and bundle them all together and ship their transaction down to L1 to Ethereum as one transaction, stake their ETH. Currently, we stake using Lido. Get the wrap the staking token from Lido and bridge it back to Starknet and distribute it to all the users who are part of the pool. Each one gets their partial share. Now, the beauty in this kind of approach is that first, you can stake ETH on Starknet. And second, your ETH is completely liquid, meaning you can sell it, you can swap it on Starknet AMM, or you can simply withdraw that using the same mechanism. But I think that the major benefit is that you don't need to suffer the very high gas fees that Ethereum has, because we divide the very high gas cost of Ethereum of L1 between all the users in the pool. So if, for example, we have 200 users in the pool, so we take the gas fees of L1 and it is divided by 200, and each user pay only his or her share. And suddenly it becomes feasible to stake ETH, even if you have only a few $1,000s or a few $100s, without having the gas fee eat all your yield. And I think that's that's democratizing staking, and that's bringing staking really to everyone and allow that to do in a recurring basis and so forth. And we are very excited about that.
Actually, I'm also very excited because it's it's a long nested vision. No, we've been thinking about this idea for a long time, and I think you took it and beautifully implemented it. And I think also the execution and the experience is really, really nice. So first of all, congratulations. And just to make sure I understand, this can also be expanded to various other DeFi use cases, I assume.
Yes, and that's the idea. So we first of all, thank you for the kind words. But that's exactly the idea. We see ETH staking as the fundamental part of DeFi, meaning everything else that users do in DeFi should bring them higher yield. ETH is maybe like the 30-year or 10-year treasury bill of the US government, or at least what it used to be. Not now when money has less meaning, but what it used to be. It's like the risk-free asset, or the most risk-free asset that the Ethereum ecosystem at large can offer. And everything else that I, as a user, want to do should offer me higher yield than each staking yield. Otherwise, it doesn't worth my time to take the risk. So we see the ETH staking as the fundamental, and on top of that, we can add more and more layers. And we already add the first layer, which we call staking boost, which is something that I think is really nice. And if you like, Tom, I can elaborate on that.
Yeah, I would love to understand, but maybe first, so I don't know, maybe it's going too much forward, but essentially, I can have I don't know, automatic staking where my ether that I have in my wallet is just um, always staking, and I can also probably, whenever I want to use it, just redeem it already on Starknet and use it as if it wasn't staked. Is this something that?
Exactly. That's exactly it. Or maybe we can give a nice analogy to the pooling and staking procedure. Think of that like driving your private car versus driving a bus. If you're driving a private car, then maybe you determine, exactly when you go, when you leave, but you need to take care of both of the car gas costs and all the costs surrounding that. On the other hand, when you take a bus, you share the ride with a few dozen other people, and you all divide between yourself the cost of taking the bus, and thus it is much cheaper to take the bus than taking a private car. And DeFi pooling, in essence, is the same. We put many users on the bus. Currently, the magic number is 200, and we see that it gets filled quite often. And once there are 200 users on the bus, then the bus goes down to L1, stake their ETH on Lido, get the WST ETH, which is the rep staked ETH token. The bus then goes back from L1 to L2, and then the WST ETH on Starknet on L2 is distributed to all the users automatically. So now you have in your wallet, you staked your ETH a few hours ago, and now you have in your wallet WST ETH, which is a regular token on Starknet, and you can do whatever you want with it. For example, you can go to MySwap, the AMM, and exchange it for ETH, or exchanges for USDC or whatever. Or you can simply keep your WST ETH and enjoy the yield that ETH staking gives you.
Which I see you already hinted on the staking boost.
That not exactly, because staking boost is taking the yield and literally boosting it. The idea here is that staking is nice. Currently, it's 4% APR, annual percentage rate, and 4% is nice. But some people say, "Oh, 4% for me. I'm in crypto. This is not enough for me. I don't want to do anything with my ETH for 4%." So here comes the boost, and what we do with the boost is that, let's say, Tom, that you want to invest 2 ETH. So what we do is we take your 2 ETH. 1 ETH goes to staking, as we've just described. WST ETH comes back from L1, and now we have your original 1 ETH and your WST ETH worth of 1 ETH, and we take both of these tokens and we add them as liquidity to MySwap pool ETH WST ETH. So not only that you earn the yield on your 1 ETH, now on top of that, you also earn the swap fees for MySwap ETH WST ETH. MySwap ETH WST ETH pool. So, and I think that the beauty here, because maybe some of the listeners here say, "Oh, that's too complicated," and they are right. That's fairly complicated. I think that the beauty here that everything happened with a click of a button. It's I call it one-click earn yield. So you click, I want to boost my ETH. All the things that we've just described with the buses going up, down, 1 ETH keep, and we keep 1 ETH in the contract. We wait for WST to come back, deposit it on MySwap, and then distribute the liquidity provisioning token back to the users, etc. Everything happens automatically, and you simply enjoy the yield. And I think that's that's for us. That's the vision of how crypto should look like, and to encapsulate all the complexity and all the fuss from the user, and enable users to do and enjoy the benefits of crypto with a very simple UX.
With my Face ID.
Also, yeah, and and that you signed, and for to stake you can sign with your Face ID. That's correct, and also to boost.
and if me, I'm as a user wants to understand what's the risk. So if I understand correctly, when I stake my Ether, the risk that I'm taking is the risk um, probably of a bug on Ethereum and a bug in Lido, right? Something like that.
Yes. So let's everything comes with a risk, and I think, as you said, it's important to understand the risk. So let's try to map them. So first of all, there could be a bug in each staking mechanism, but then we are all doomed, right? Doesn't matter if you
Yes,
if
exactly.
you if if you stake your ETH or you keep your ETH, we are all doomed. Then currently we are staking with Lido, so there could be a bug in Lido. So that's another risk. Although Lido is running for 2 years now with I think a couple of
Large
10 billion
percentage of the staking. Yeah.
TVL. Yeah, so it has what we call a Lindy effect. Like it's been around, but it's still a risk. Then we have the risk of the bridges. So although the bridge is the same bridge that secure ETH to Starknet and USDC to Starknet and USDT, WBTC, etc., that's still a risk. And then we have the risk of the smart contract on Starknet, which is also a risk. So you see, if we map all the risks, there are risks. So people should be aware of that. And I want to add on top of that that everything is still in alpha, right? Both
Yes.
Braavos as a wallet, the DeFi pooling feature for sure, and also in a major sense, also Starknet itself is still in alpha.
Yes.
So users should be well aware of that.
And when I decide to do the staking booth, what's the delta there?
So the delta there is the AMM contract, which add another contract, but we do the boosting using the pool, the WST ETH pool on MySwap, and MySwap is also running for a while now. It's been audited. It's the first DeFi app to launch on Starknet. Not sure if you knew that, Tom. Both on testnet and mainnet. So it also has some longevity, but still, this also in alpha. I think that the beauty, besides the fact of alpha, and I hope that all of us as an ecosystem, certainly Braavos and the DeFi pooling and the AMM, etc., will move from alpha to beta and soon to full production. I think that once we do that, the beauty of this strategy is that you don't really suffer impermanent loss. In AMMs, there is a concept that is called impermanent loss, which basically means that if the price of one of your tokens in the pair compared to the other changes dramatically, you could be better off if if you simply held the tokens in your wallet without even liquidity provisioning. So the fees won't cover the change in price. The beauty with tokens which are relatively pegged is that your exposure to impermanent loss is very minimal, because we know that the change of ETH versus WST ETH, the rate of change is approximately 4% a year. And in that sense, you are still exposed to all other risks, but at least I would call it the financial strategy risk is diminished.
Okay, amazing. So assuming I understand those risks and I'm willing to take it, if I mean I'm looking at it from a user perspective, Ether
So
that
maybe
that
Tom,
I'm
maybe just to to give a flavor, we said that today to stake ETH using Lido, we get approximately 4%. The boost feature, on the other hand, gives double-digit yield. And it even gives very high double-digit yields. We don't expect that to last long, but it does give very high double-digit yield. So I encourage users to enjoy it while it lasts. It won't last long. I would say that we thought the same thing on other pairs on on my swap. For example, the ETH USDC pair produced double-digit yields for long months now. So since end of last year.
Nice.
So that's the time, Tom, to take a second mortgage. And
I would say that I had a, I'm basically a holder, but in the very poor attempt of me using DeFi, it was mainly me losing. So I had my share, and I'm now sticking to building stuff. Okay, nice. But if I look at it from a user perspective, then let's say I have my ether that I plan to, I don't know, use or somehow I don't know, use in different applications, or I don't know, I need to pay fees for Starknet. Then this is something that it's easier for me to hold in just the regular staking, because then it's a simple swap on Starknet and I can redeem it for ether. And if I use the staking booth, then I assume it's the cost to redeem it to ether is a bit higher, so I will put there stuff that I don't plan to move.
No, the cost is approximately the same. So the cost is so marginal. Think of these buses. We have many buses that goes up and down from L2 to L1, from L1 to L2, with 200 users at a time, and all of them split the gas cost. So it put the Starknet transaction cost aside. The extra cost for doing the pooling is in the orders of cents. So all in all, again, depending on the gas price, etc., but it could be 15 cents, 20 cents. That's max. If you compare it, for example, I don't know, to stake your ETH via MetaMask, it costs $20, $25, and this is in current very low gas fees. And the same thing for withdrawal. So withdrawal and deposits they're really like parallel. So the only thing is how fast you can get your tokens and convert them back to ETH. I think that's the main issue that people need to talk about and need to think about before they are doing such kind of investment in terms of their capital availability. We talked about all the other risk a few minutes ago. And here also for sophisticated investors, what they can do, they can simply, both in the case of staking only and having WST in their wallet, and boosting and having the LP token in the wallet, they can simply go to MySwap or do that with Braavos inner swap functionality and swap their token in case of WST back to ETH. And in case of the LP token, simply remove the liquidity and gain back the WST and ETH in their wallet. So it's true, it's a bit more tricky. But if someone can't wait a few hours for the round trip of L2, L1, and back to L2 to complete, then this is certainly a possibility. And maybe, I will turn it back to you now, because I think that the long goal of Starknet is that round trip won't take long hours, actually very short hours or even less than that.
Yes, I agree.
That's a great answer.
No, I agree. I mean, generally the proving technology has, it's quite amazing, and it's been in production for over 2 years now. But there's a lot of rooms and ways to improve, which we already know, and some of them we're already working on. I see Leandro from Lambda Class is here, and they're also working on their prover, and we're seeing great results there. And yes, the goal is to reach. I think right now we have something like a latency of a few hours, and the goal is to reach much shorter latency. I mean, first we separated between when is the first time you see a proof, which allows you to get the validity of the state. And when you have aggregated many proofs via recursion, to post it on L1 and to reduce the cost. So the first number will be in the order of minutes, meaning you will wait only a few minutes to get a proof to the state, and then the accumulation of blocks together can take more. But as we discussed, I think that not in the near future, but looking forward, I don't know, a year, 2 years from now, we can also have mechanisms that will allow users to say, I'm willing to pay, I don't know, an extra amount of bucks to have the proof reach L1 in a shorter time, right? I don't know if there is a big opportunity or enough people are willing to pay, then this is a
Yeah.
mechanism that can be added.
Yeah, and I think even before that, I think it would be amazing because we are talking about 2 orders of magnitude less gas fee than working on Ethereum directly. That's on the one hand, and on the other hand, you have all the prominent protocol of Ethereum in half an hour away at your
Yeah.
at your fingertips. So it's like we started with the staking, but as you alluded to earlier, staking is only the first step. So if you are talking about protocols like Aave, Compound, etc., or whatever tapping in that we want to do to any protocol on L1, it suddenly becomes possible currently with a latency of a few hours, and hopefully in the future in a latency of a few minutes or a few dozen minutes.
Yes, I agree. This can be, this can have a huge potential. Okay, very nice. I think we're almost out of time. One thing that maybe you mentioned but I didn't hear is, I mean, can you share like a bit of numbers, what you've seen in the past 2 weeks, even before this was publicly announced?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. So there were like over 250 buses going up and down from L1 to L2. 15,000 users have already staked their ETH or boost their ETH. The yield is phenomenal. Like
50,000, 50K.
15, 1 5.
Okay.
It wasn't open to 50K, or it was open, in theory, less than 50K people could access that. Yeah, so it's really nice, and I hope that the users and listeners here will try it out. And the fee is also the yields. I'm sorry, the yield is also amazing. The fee is amazing, which we did comparison with various gas fees compared to L1, and of course, the higher the gas price, we save much more. We save much more money. So with very high gas prices, it will be 2 orders of magnitude less. But even with low gas price, we are talking about times 20, times 30, times 50. Even in current gas price, which is approximately 50 gwei, saving in gas costs. So you pay 3, 4, 5% of the gas cost that you would pay if you would do that directly on L1. And the boosting yield is phenomenal. I don't want to say that because it's not, it's not something which is sustainable, but anyone that will open the Braavos wallet will see like amazing numbers. It won't last, but enjoy it while it lasts.
Okay, very exciting. I mean, to me, it's crazy to hear those numbers on Starknet. So very, very, very nice job. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, and for people here, for builders here, you can simply look at that on chain and see, how beautifully in one multi-call, 200 users get their stake ETH to their wallet directly with fractions of the cost, like less than 3 cents per user, which is really incredible.
So I missed that. You're using one transaction with the 200 calls to distribute the tokens back, which makes sense, by the way. But it's really nice.
Yeah, because when you get on
Okay,
the bus,
perfect.
so
Yeah, yeah.
everyone gets on the bus by himself or by herself. But when the bus gets back from L1 and we have the stake token or we have the boost token, the liquidity provisioning token, then we distribute that in one transaction to everyone, and it's really cool. And when you sum it up, when we summed up all the gas fees that it costs to run the bus, quote unquote, yeah, to run the batch, it's like you sum fractions of cents, so 3 cents and 1.5 cents, and etc., etc. And then if you take even a buffer, etc., you don't get to more than 15, 20 cents.
Very nice. Okay, I think we're out of time. Let's try to keep those exciting news frequently.
With pleasure. We will try to do our part. Version 12 is doing its part. So again, congratulations. I know that it's been a long and hard journey, and many people put sweat and, and blood into that, and very happy to see that live in the air.
Same here. Thank you very much, Moti, and thank you everyone who joined us. Um, have a great day.
Thank you. Till next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.